Acapulco, a land of sun and sea and sand, and a place to have a really good time. But to have a really good time, you've got to know a few things about the city. So here are some hints and tips. El cucaracha, el cucaracha. Money, or dinero. Now, obviously, you know by now that the Mexican currency is the peso. Now, if you want to exchange sterling into US dollars or pesos, it's probably best to come to a money exchange or a bank rather than go to the hotel reception. You won't get quite as good a rate there. Now, most places, shops, taxis, restaurants, you name it, will accept US dollars. And they use a conversion rate of about 2,500 pesos to the US dollar. So if you see a sign in a shop that says 10,000 pesos, divide by 2,500, and it's about $4 US. Now, when you're converting from sterling, the exchange rate is something like 3,756 pesos to the pound, which isn't what I call an easy number to divide with. So if you round it up to 4,000 and divide by that, so 10,000 pesos, divide by 4,000 is about 2.5 quid, maybe £2.70. And that message was for Mr. Cox. Yes, Mr. Cox, C-O-X. That's right, thank you. Telephones can either be your friend or foe in Acapulco. If you have colleagues in other hotels that you want to get hold of, get their room number and don't just quote their name, because it can take a little time if that operator can't speak English. Also, if you want to phone home, don't try a direct call or even through the operator, because that can be charged at up to $40 per minute. So on a 10-minute phone call, you can be paying hundreds of pounds, literally. The best thing to do is to make a call collect or a reverse charge call, and that will be put out at a charge of $6 only. Okay. Now, taxi fares in Acapulco have been known to vary. So if you want a rough guide to how much a taxi should cost, there's usually a list outside the hotel in the reception, which should give you an idea of what it will cost from the hotel to the airport or the hotel to the divers, wherever you want to go. Now, it's cheaper to hail a taxi from the street than it is to get one from the rank, but Acapulco must be one of the few places on earth where the taxi drivers hail you rather than the other way round. Hey, miss, you want taxi? The sun in Mexico is very, very hot, so if you're at all prone to burning, then follow these instructions. Slip, slop, slap, okay? Slip on a t-shirt, slop on some suntan oil, and slap on a sombrero, and you'll be perfectly fine. Now, none of the beaches in Acapulco are private. They're all public. So the vendors come and they bother you all the time. Now, if you want to buy something, make sure that you haggle, and haggle well, because you can reduce them by as much as 80% of the price. Okay? Enjoy! That little beauty up there, the E with a slash over it, means no parking. Now, if you think the London Metropolitan bobbies are bad with their clamping, then you ain't seen nothing yet, because here they take the front number plate and the back number plate and take it off to the police station. Now, if you're Mexican, it's probably all right, you go along and pick it up. But if you're a Brit, it could prove to be difficult. And talking of the police, they aren't quite like the guys we have back home. It's probably... the traffic. It's probably fair to say that you should be wary of them, because jail is very easy to get into in Mexico and very difficult to get out of. Water varies in quality around Acapulco. You're quite fine to drink water and have ice cubes in your drink if you're in a top-class hotel or in a good restaurant. But beware if you are eating and drinking in lower-class restaurants. Now, food, don't eat unwashed fruit, and if at all possible, try to steer clear of salads. But that isn't essential. Again, if you're eating in a good place, you're probably going to be all right. don't eat off the cantinas, which are actually on the street in downtown Acapulco, unless you never suffer from Montezuma's revenge. So if you keep all of those tips in mind, you'll have a great time. Cheers.